fans are flipped over the fact their team has gone this far. Saints fullback Buford Jordan decided to greet fans before the game.
Thank y'all. Y'all take care.
I'm feeling great. Wonderful.
Interviews, we had hoped it would be with a victorious set of Saints players, but we still want to hear from the boys in black and gold. Jim Gallagher is standing by outside the Saints locker room right now.
Jim, I hope they're not too downbeat because they've got a lot to be proud of this year.
Thank you very much. With me, Toi Cook. Toi, obviously a tough game for you guys.
Yeah, you know, we just had a couple breakdowns that resulted in, you know, 6 points, which coming in this game, everyone knew you had to shut down Rising and Haynes, and if you could do that, you have a good job. You know, we got some turnovers, tough game.
Those two guys really were the difference, weren't they?
Yeah, especially Haynes. You know, that's the biggest thing the last 4 or 5 weeks was them getting the ball to Mike. You know, 60, 70. He was the big play guy, and everyone knew coming in. He's now got that reputation as sort of like a Rice. In a critical situation, Miller's going to him. You know, in fact, he's going away from Rising and going to Haynes, so that's the guy that needs to be stopped.
Toi, is this the thing, though, that you build on this year, though?
Yeah, I think you have to, especially with the injuries that we had. Derek Kennard, Trapillo, myself, Reggie, Cal. I mean, everybody. And for us to play as well as we did, it's an incredible job, you know, with the backup players, the coaching staff, and the organization.
Toi Cook, thank you very much. Let's throw it back to the set right now.
All right, Jim, they do have a lot to be.
Saints lose today, and we do have Jim Gallagher live in the Saints locker room, so before we do the highlights, Jimmy, let us have it, man.
Ron, thank you very much. I wish I had the Rolaids concession here with us is Sam Mills. And Sam, another tight one, another great back-and-forth ball game between the Saints and the Falcons. Tough one for you guys to lose.
It was. You know, we had it right in our hands, and we let it get away late in the game. And, you know, it's a shame that we let it get away, but, you know, that's what happens.
Late in the game, especially third and late in the fourth quarter, Michael Haynes was the difference in this game again.
He was. You know, he came up with some big plays for him, and the last time we played him, he came up with some big plays to help those guys win. And today he came through on the clutch.
Talk to me about the first half, because at that point, looked like you guys were really in control. A couple of tough calls, one on you got the interception, and Pat get called for roughing the passer going to the head on Chris Miller. But a lot of tough calls, a lot of bad breaks, or you could have maybe blown them away early in this game.
Yeah, it looked real good early. You know, we did some things to hurt ourselves early on, but we were still in control, I felt like. And things looked real good out there. It went about like I thought it would. And, you know, to let it get away at the end, that was the one thing we were really concentrating on, not to give up the big plays, and we allowed them to make them.
Sam, thank you very much. Sam Mills obviously played his heart out today. Saints lose a tough one. Ron, let's go back, look at the highlights when we're back here in the locker room in just a couple of minutes with more live interviews.
Okay, Jimmy, as we were saying, dreams are a lot like bubbles, and they all burst for the Saints today. The Atlanta Falcons' Chris Miller and his wideouts able to take the game to New Orleans' patchwork defensive backfield, but it was a struggle from the get-go as we started out in the first quarter. Tommy Barnhart gets the punt off, but he is roughed up a bit. Saints get a first down off the penalty. They take advantage of it. Hebert to a wide-open Floyd Turner in the end zone right there as... boy, I'd sure like to know what that was. Anyway, Bobby Hebert scrambles right here to a wide-open Turner right there. Touchdown, and the Saints were up 7-0. Saints had another drive inside the Falcons' 5-yard line. Hebert intercepted by Deion Sanders. He stays in the end zone, but the Falcons have the ball at the 20. Later on, Ricky Jackson sacks Chris Miller, forces the fumble. Ricky recovers it. Saints ball. Mort Anderson adds 3 from 45 yards. The Saints had a 10-0 lead. Then the defense rising again. Frank Warren strips the ball from Mike Rozier. Brett Maxey recovered it, but the refs ruled Rozier was down. Bad call, I thought. Tough break for the Saints because on the next play, Chris Miller finds Andre Rison in the end zone. Saints lead was cut to 3. Second quarter then with the Falcons driving. Sam Mills intercepted Chris Miller's screen pass, but the play is called back. They say Pat Swilling had roughed the passer, but you can see from the replay that is a picky call. The Falcons get a field goal at it and tied the game at 10 right before the half then. Hebert would hit Hilliard over the middle as they are driving to get a couple of more before the halftime closed down to the Falcons 33. Then Mort Anderson would drill another field goal. The Saints would go into the locker room leading 13-10. Then the Falcons opening the second half with this scoring touchdown. Miller to Michael Haynes. He beat Reggie Jones. Vincey Glenn drilled him. Falcons 17-13. Saints coming right back. Long drive capped by this 1-yard touchdown. Dalton Hilliard. 2017 Saints but it was Falcons all the way after that. Norm Johnson, a field goal to tie it at 20. Then it was Miller to Haynes again. The Saints were blitzing. Milton Mack burned badly here. 61 yards for Haynes in the touchdown. He had 6 catches, 2 touchdowns, 145 yards or so. The Saints' last effort here, stifled by Tim McKayer's interception of Bobby Hebert. A lot of laterals here. Back to Deion Sanders as I said before, kind of rubbing the Saints' noses in it, but the final would be a Falcons 27, the Saints 20. The Falcons go on to play the Redskins next Sunday as the playoffs continue for them, and the Saints end their season at 11-6. By the way, do we have Jim Gallagher live in the locker room now? No, but we will be going back to him as this show advances. In the AFC...
He's got Vaughan Johnson with him right now.
That's right, Warren. Thank you very much, Vaughan. Tough one to lose. Again, it seems like the same story, just another verse. Leading a game, have a chance to win it, and not able to hold the lead.
No question about it. I think that was the bottom line today. You know, we had several opportunities to close the game out, win the ball game, and they kept hanging tough, and they was able to pull it out.
Another tough loss. You have to obviously take this and build on it from here.
That's true. You know, you really try not to let one game spoil what you accomplished the whole season. So, you know, it's a tough loss for us. And, you know, we fought hard and we really played hard and really wanted the game. But I give those guys credit. Hey, they did what it takes to win the ball game. But, you know, we're not going to let it diminish what we've accomplished this year as far as the New Orleans Saints organization.
Vaughan, thank you very much. Vaughan Johnson headed to the Pro Bowl. Congratulations. Tough loss for these guys. Let's go back to the set and more.